Hello there, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Ask Dr. Jack Show. I am Dr. Jack Belitz, chiropractor in Omaha.
Hello everybody, I'm Aaliyah, Dr. Jack's assistant.
And we are so excited to be here today. The topic is a very, very special one to my heart. It's very near and dear to me.
Well, it should be to everybody because we're talking about sleep. And sleep is as important as water for everybody, whether you're 2 years old or 27 years old or 85, you need sleep.
And I just absolutely love embracing that fact that we need sleep. Okay, however, there's a lot of people that have problems with sleep. And, you know, we work with a lot of those people, so I know what it's like for people not to have sleep because we hear about it here at the office. And so we're going to go over some of this stuff, and then we're going to give you some tips that you can use to kind of maybe, if this is an obstacle in your life, because let's face it, it's huge. If you don't get enough sleep, you're grouchy. You're not very productive. You can fall asleep during the day. I mean, it sucks.
Yeah, lots of negative side effects for your health. Your immune system doesn't function quite as well. Your endocrine system gets very stressed out and tired, and you know that affects your thyroid and things like that. So, not good.
Not good at all. Okay, so the first thing you have to understand is not everybody needs the same amount of sleep. So you have to figure out where your amount of sleep is, and you need to stick to it. Because I'm sorry, as much as you'd like to think, your body doesn't know the difference between a weekday and a weekend. It's all the same. And so if you go 5 days and do a routine, and then on the weekends try to extend it out, your brain gets so confused, and then you wonder why you have problems the rest of the week getting to sleep. So make sure that you find what that is. Now, for some people, it's as little as 6 hours, and they are perfectly fine. They get up, they're okay. For other people, they need 8 hours. Most people, if they get over 8 hours, they can sleep, because I can definitely sleep more than 8 hours if I want to. But you will feel groggy. You will feel, not very good, and it will actually be detrimental to you in the long run. So somewhere between 6 and 8 hours, there's probably a sweet spot in your life. Find it and stick to it.
That's right. And remember, there's no catching up on sleep. So if you miss a couple of hours of sleep on Monday night and try and get 2 more hours of sleep on Tuesday night, it doesn't really work like that. It's not the same. So the next one is your wind down routine. It's really important. Your body needs dark to let itself know that it's time to go to sleep so that it can produce melatonin. And if you're sitting in front of the TV or your phone or your iPad, that light doesn't let your body release those hormones properly, and you have a harder time falling asleep. So
yeah, so there's this little gland called the pineal gland that sits right behind the eyeball. Light literally goes through your eyeball and interacts with that pineal gland, and that pineal gland doesn't produce the chemical that you need in order to relax and go to sleep. So avoiding that blue light is huge.
Yep, turn the lights off, do something relaxing before bed, like coloring, reading an actual book that's paper.
Do they still make
writing?
those?
Yes, they still make those.
Okay.
Libraries are a thing still, guys.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, just actually relax, shut your mind down.
Okay, the next thing is how to prepare for sleep. Eating a big meal right before you go to bed, not a great idea. All that food sitting in your stomach, it doesn't digest properly, and it's not going to let you sleep very well. So eat your meal at least a few hours before you actually go to sleep. If you need a little snack right before you go to sleep, there's some cherries, there's a couple of nuts that are okay. They will actually help promote sleep a little bit. Again, don't overdo it. Don't eat a quart of cherries, have a couple of them, and don't fill your stomach up, but just have enough to kind of get you, okay, I'm ready for bed now.
We're snackers before bed. Me and my kids always like to have a snack before bed. So, don't force sleep. That's another one. People they go to bed and they sit there and they'll toss and turn for half hour, 45 minutes. If you're not falling asleep within that first 15 or 20 minutes, you might not be ready for sleep. So get up, walk around, do some stretching, read your book a little bit longer, still avoid the lights, and do that for another 10 or 15 minutes, and then try and lay back down.
The next thing I want to talk about is what happens if you wake up a few, like before you're supposed to. Should you actually go back to sleep? This is hard for a lot of people, right? So let's say you're used to getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning and you wake up at 4 o'clock. Should you just like try to get... Let me tell you, I used to be the one, hey, until my alarm goes off, I'm going to sleep. But quite frankly, your sleep cycle is generally speaking about 90 minutes or so. You know, you go into the REM sleep and come back out. So if you only have an hour left of your time before you go, your body's going to get into that REM sleep, and all of a sudden the alarm's going to wake you up, and you're going to wake up and you're going to feel groggy and crappy and just gross. So if your brain wakes you up maybe a little bit earlier and you feel like, you know, you're awake, get up, you know. Enjoy the extra hour of productivity in your day. Maybe use it for some meditation if you don't want to get really like super active or anything like that, because meditation can be very, very amazing for your brain. The last thing we're going to talk about is supplements.
Yeah, there's herbs and supplements that can help you sleep. Anything from your essential oils like lavender and chamomile to a product that we have here called GABA, which helps with the production of your melatonin. So
I'm going to give you a couple of steps. If you want to get into really good sleep, here's what you got to do. First of all, you want to be in bed by 10 o'clock or ready to sleep by 10 o'clock. In order to get prepared for that, you need to basically be ready for bed by 9:30. When you get into bed, you want to have a little journal with you, because if you take 10 minutes to just kind of journal the day, your brain is actually going to start getting things organized. And that's one of the things that you do during sleep, is it kind of organizes the brain as to what happened that day. And so if you take the time to journal a little bit, it starts that process. And you don't have as many little voices going on in your head right before you go to sleep. After that 10 minutes of journaling, get out your paper book that she was talking about. All right? Read just 10 minutes, you know. Get your brain kind of calmed down, ready to go to sleep. Turn off the lights. Depending on your room. Now, not everybody has a really black room. You may need a sleep mask. All right? If you've got a street light out of the window and even the most darkened shades do not block that, you need to do it. If you have a clock in your room that has a light on it and it's not really super, super dim, put a sleep mask on, because just keeping that light from that pineal gland is so important. Then you want to set your alarm for, at the very latest, 5 o'clock the next morning. I know it sounds crazy, but if you do that and force yourself to get up, you may the first couple days just be dragging your bottom out of bed. But after you get into that regimen of that regular sleep cycle, your brain is going to love it, it's going to embrace it, and it's going to be amazing for you. But you've got to do it consistently. You don't get off on the weekends.
that's right.
All right. You guys have an awesome, happy, and healthy day.